Countdown begins. Good friends, we'll get going here in about 30 seconds. We're live. So, I was 29 years old. I'm sitting on the porch with my father at his house, and I had to have the hardest conversation that I would have ever had with him up to this point. And I stepped into it the best I knew how. And it was hard and messy and challenging in some places. And this is what we're here to talk about today at YouTube Live, Lunch with Chris. We want to help you get a vision for you being the best leader you can be wherever you find yourself. And we'll do some Q&A at the end so you can lock in and apply it, or we can do it wide open to wherever you find yourself. What are you eating today? I'm doing a smoothie. Muscle Milk, sponsor of the show. Not really, but maybe they want to be. My schedule went a little different than I thought, and so I was adjusting on the fly. RX bar, little smoothie, little coffee, whatever you're eating. If you're on the West Coast, you're eating breakfast, cool. So we're talking about, in this series, and this is the last one we'll do on it today, the show Jury Duty, Season 2, Company Retreat. So the whole season is about they're taking people away for this company retreat, but they're all actors. One person isn't an actor, and they're trying to draw out him being the hero in this succession story. Will the father pass it on to the crazy son? Is the PE group going to buy it? And I think that we see this culturally and we relate to it because we see how so much performative or dumb theater happens in company antics. And it's crazy that we're talking about this today because I'm going to look at this and just read it to you. This went viral on Twitter or X, whatever your word of choice is. I think yesterday, the day before, and it's a company called Plex, and it's about a retreat they had, company retreat in 2017, and it was chaos. And the title of how a lot of the articles have been gathered on X are the company retreat turned chaos into company bonds. I'll let you be your own judge of that. I've got a thought on that in a minute. But so the company's Plex, they flew their fully remote team to a Honduran resort for a 500K week of beach meetings and team challenges. It unraveled from food poisoning, raw meat, grueling Navy SEAL drills in scorching heat. So the whole stereotype or archetype of this like aggressive, pushing military mindset. And I think some people got like really overheated and sick. Somebody had to get antihistamines, wildlife mishaps like a porcupine dropping through a shower ceiling. The CEO was sick much of the week. Dead tarantula was eaten. 20 people, I read in one, were 100, but they got stranded on a remote island overnight. Really crazy, wild stuff. And so the point of this is there are some people that are commenting on it and saying, yeah, we're bonded from that. Well, yeah, I mean, that's such an intense, crazy experience. And it's also a little bit survivorship bias in the sense that anybody that would have felt scared or threatened by that probably left. It just doesn't have to be this crazy and dramatic, right? The reason it doesn't have to be this crazy and dramatic is because what is pregnant in all of the leadership moments around you, all the team building moments around you that's so missed by so many people is real. Like something is real. All transformation, all momentum interpersonally as leaders, as team builders starts with truth. What's really happening? This is why I loved the show Company Retreat, Season 2 of Jury Duty, because probably weirdly, and we're going to talk about a few moments from the show today, my favorite moment was not something like really germane to the plot or the story development, but it was a little bit because I've seen it so many times. So here was the moment. These are the episodes that dropped this past Thursday. So I think it was 6, 7, and 8, episode 6. They have a speaker who's like this brand strategist from the private equity group come in and speak to them. His outfit is completely perfect for like almost like those people have a uniform. And it reflected exactly what I see so much. And I have been in some of the largest companies in the world in the rooms when some of these talks occur. I see it in small businesses also, everything in between. The reason it was so perfect and the reason I loved it so much is because it was a beautiful picture of how stupid and inane and full of just weird BS and completely missing the plot these moments are. The guy gives like a talk on innovation, and he does it in this dumb way. He's like, "How many of you want to get out of the box?" And people raise their hand, and he's like, "Well, there is no box." Just this like mental gymnastics you take people on that you're not really teaching something. You're not really being helpful. This is why I think TED kind of ruined what people's perception of speaking. So, for me, and this applies everything to what we're diving into today. It applies to the conversation that I'll tell you about more that I have on the porch with my father. The momentum that begins transformation in a team, in an individual, in a culture, what leads a culture to breakthrough, it's built around truth. It's the things that we don't want to talk about that we have to square up with. It's the things that we want to avoid. We want to run from them. We want to bury our head in the sand. We want to distract ourselves, doom scrolling about politics on whatever social media you use. It's truth. And so what they did in showing this speaker that was so powerful in the way that it created the hilariousness of what it looks like when somebody says nothing. There are tons of people out there that like think they're a speaker because they can share a big idea. That's what TED did to ruin keynotes. I'm in rooms and I have had big names that I've spoken before, and they don't say anything sometimes. Like there's just nothing there. And there are times when it's powerful. The standard here for one-to-ones, people you coach, people you lead, team settings, cultures, keynotes, we have a shared real moment. These are humans. What if we're all different from this moment? What if we're transformed by it? And the reason why I loved it and it was so good was because it showed how stupid. And he's just clicking through different slide ideas for them. And again, it wasn't even huge to the plot, but it's huge to the point we're making today. And it's huge to the arc of the show's story. And it's huge to your understanding of how leadership transformation works. It starts with something real. It starts with something true. I was in the room when that happened. We were in there. Me and this person were talking. I mean, you're not going to build a team and accomplish a substantive mission if you're not a little delusional about a vision, and if you're not a little bit of maniacal in getting people to join you. And it's lots of shared moments. And so I think the reason why so many companies fall into these dumb theater moments, they pay for the retreat, they block the calendar, they fly people in. And the most important moments that could happen, that need to happen, that would transform, don't happen because we just aim for the wrong stuff. I think a lot of times people think this done right looks like a big hugging session, therapeutic language, kumbaya. And yet over and over again, it might have that as an outgrowth of a moment. And it might be deep, hilarious laughter. It doesn't have to be an intense emotional expression of tears. Here's what I know. It has to be built on truth. So a few elements from the show from the last few seasons that stood out to me. One of them at the company retreat, when they were doing the talent show, and Kevin sings the song Creep. So Sia's in the room. She's just rocked it out, which I think is hilarious that they got her to come in and play this part. I don't know if she's not won a Grammy or not because they gave her that award. She's like, I've never won a Grammy. And Kevin sings this song Creep. And what you do in that moment is you kind of feel like yourself pull within yourself. Like, ooh, this is so weird. This is so gross. If you have been in the leadership game, it's a fun game. It's my favorite game for any number of years. You've probably seen in these moments where leaders do things that are just like, why that? What makes it awkward is it's not real. It's not based in truth. And poor Kevin is just grasping after straws. And of course, it's a written character. for his love interest that isn't interested in him. So when I look at the show and I look at the arc of it, I see these moments that they're capturing in such clear ways that remind us all. It starts with truth. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. No duplicity. It doesn't mean we're not influential with our language. It doesn't mean we're not strategic. But it does mean at the end of the day that if we're not putting out a signal that's clear and strong and discernible, we're going to send people to the wrong place. I love having fun with you guys. Speaking of sending people to the wrong place, you can't seem, Mark, are you zoned out? Mark's just going to wave. Mark, our operations director, better coach than me. He's got the patience for it. Certifies our coaches back there working hard. I think this is funny because we ordered his lunch and they always deliver it to the front door. They delivered it to the back door. Didn't tell us for no reason. Weirdest thing ever. Showed up in the wrong place. Just a dumb example, silly example of this idea that what's happening in this show and what it's drawing out are these moments that are just awkward. Now, the whole show has been designed for Anthony to come out as the hero and to disrupt the sale, which I think is incredible. The fact that they thought through it with that kind of arc and to have a son involved and all of the structure of that. But how many leaders do you know that do the same thing when there is a threat? They kick into a performative theater. They start trying to talk you into something. They start trying to over-influence you. They start trying to manipulate. Or they run the other direction and they hide and they put their head in the sand and they ignore the issue and they try to distract you from it. And so what's really powerful about this show is it's showing you all of these moments that are consistently happening. Now they're doing it in a cartoony, zany way. But if you start to watch these moments in this show as it unfolds, you'll start to see, oh, there's dumb theater happening around us all the time. When I'm insecure as a leader, I show up in a way under pressure that puts me into this default mode. And I'm then going to withdraw too much or try to control too much. And so what you see in this organization is exactly that with all these different personalities. The breakthrough came for the team when one person could go first with the truth. And that's the same true for you. That's the same true for you in the leadership spaces you find yourself, wherever that is. It's not when the team gets emotional. That can be a part of the bonding experience. But ultimately, it comes when one person goes first in the truth. So I wonder how that lands for you. I wonder where you find yourself with that, because if you're going to be the kind of person who is going to lead for impact, not validation, you will be in spots over and over and over again where you want to learn to see what's really happening and to communicate it in the most effective way possible. I was 29 years old, sitting on this porch with my father, and had to have a tough conversation with him. And the tough conversation was basically this: Dad, I'm not going to be Dougie. To use the reference from the show, there was a situation of succession, of transition, and it became clear to me that that was not the path that I needed to walk on. So 19 years ago, I really stepped out in my own way, to find my own way, I should say. And it began with a moment of truth. What if I'm not supposed to be the next guy? What if I'm supposed to take a different path? I don't know where it's going to take you, but I know this. You really want to wrestle with what's your own vulnerability. What's the truth you need to own in this moment? And how can you learn to be the kind of leader who doesn't measure the applause or the crying, but how much people really grasp and step into the truth? And at the end of the day, if no one follows, you got to go first. And you stay in the room. You don't run away, so that you can be that kind of leader who's present. May we be those kind of leaders. So wherever you find yourself, keep leading well, keep leading with intention, keep leading with awareness. A couple things to make you aware of before we close today's YouTube live. You can always click the bell to be notified when we go live. Coming up May 6th, I'm going to be delivering a talk what's the place of AI when it outperforms your best leaders, and how to think about leadership in the realm of AI. What's the difference a human still makes? So if you're in the Columbus area, you can go to siteshift.com/Columbus. Grab a ticket depending on when you watch this. That's May 6th. And we'll be back here Wednesday at noon, kicking off a new series next week. You can bring your leadership, bring your questions, bring your lunch. This afternoon, when that moment of truth shows up, don't avoid it. Step into it. Lead well. Thanks for being here. Peace.